Hey guys, this is Amber from Anxious Amber. I'm here today to do my wrap up for October 2025, and it has actually been a very productive month for me. I have finished a lot of different whips that I had going on. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. We'll start with the whips that I'm taking into November with me, and then we'll start going through everything that I finished. All right, so for my whips, this first one is Flick. This canvas just came from AliExpress, so I'm not going to be working on it on my channel, but I will show it, as it is something that I am trying to finish. So that's my first work in progress. Next, I didn't work on any of the farm set from Pretty Little Gems, so I do still have, let me see, I'm going to get them all out here. Oh, one in there. Sorry. I do still have the farm truck, the rooster, the box of vegetables, the horse, the hay bale, and then the barn to complete with that. I do want to get it done this year, so I'm probably going to focus on it in the next couple of months. And then my last whip is Blue Horse. This was the canvas I used in the video to show how I use washi tape, and I did get 2 sections done on it. So it is from Diamond Artisan Shop, and it is actually a painting from 1911 by Franz Marc. All right, so that is the whips that I have. Well, those are the whips that I have. So I'm going to pause for a minute, reset with everything that I have completed for the month, and I'll be right back. I thought we would start with my crochet project. I started this July 30th, I believe. I've made it for my cousin's baby girl that is due in January. So I did get it finished finally, I believe October 29th, so just a couple days ago. I did decide to go ahead and put just a shell border on it in the mango color. All of this yarn came from Hobby Lobby. It is the brand I Love This Yarn, which is Hobby Lobby's brand of yarn, in the colors mango, light peach, and cream. And then the pattern I used is just a gingham pattern from Daisy Farm Crafts, if you are interested in looking that up. Let's see, next up I have Blathers. This was also a kit from AliExpress. I did seal this canvas just because I feel like these cheaper ones do kind of need that extra protection. And let me look in my book here to see. So Blathers I started the 1st of September and finished October 2nd. All right, I'm going to have to maybe move the camera a little bit here. So this is Modern Witch. It is from Diamond Art Club, and the artwork is by Sasha Arts. This was my first kit that I did for the Drills and Chills 2025 event. I really love how she turned out, and I do plan on dry mounting and framing this for a friend of mine who looks exactly like this character. I'm really happy with how she turned out. It was my first experience working with fairy dust drills, and they're just not my favorite. I definitely prefer ABs. The fairy dust, I just don't think, they're just so subtle. I don't think they have enough of an impact to really show for being different than any of the other normal diamonds. All right, and now I'm going to have to pause you and move you for a minute so we can go look at my other 2 finished diamond paintings. All right, so these are my other 2 diamond paintings. The first one I did was Black Cat. This is a Make Market kit from Michaels that I purchased in 2024. It does glow in the dark. And then it also has the magnet frame that it came with. This was my first time working with glow-in-the-dark drills. And so I did not seal this, but I do kind of think it maybe needs it. Let me know if you have sealed any diamond paintings with glow-in-the-dark drills and if it keeps the glow-in-the-dark from actually working. And then this was my second canvas for Drills and Chills 2025 event. Then my third canvas I finished is Beautiful Bunch. This is the first canvas from Mooney Made that I've ever worked on. And the artwork is by Cute But Weird. Then this painting also has glow-in-the-dark drills. All the ghosts glow in the dark. Some of the pumpkin will glow in the dark. My only complaint with this is that I do think the drill field was just a hair too big. So you can see, when you get up close, you can see the symbols through some of the drills where I multi-placed. Other than that, I'm very happy with it. I loved it. I started it October 20th and finished it October 29th. Black Cat, I started October 3rd and finished October 4th. So it was a really quick kit. And then Beautiful Bunch was my third and last finish for Drills and Chills 2025 event. And now I'm going to pause, go into the dark hallway, and try to get these glowing in the dark on camera for you. All right, guys, check out that glow on them. And it's not even really dark in this hallway. But you can see Black Cat, the moon, and his eye all glow in the dark. And then you come over here to Beautiful Bunch, and you've got some stars in the background, all of the ghosts glow in the dark, and then the pumpkin has some highlights. So again, I'm really happy with that. I think that's a really neat feature. Last but not least, I did want to come on and show my media journal for October. You can see my Bible recap I did every day. I still need to put a mark for today because I just got done reading it. For the Read Daily, I only did that at the beginning of the month. I didn't really keep up with it too well. Buju Buddies Book Club, which is now called the Goobers Book Club. I read A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. Reese's Book Club, I did not do. I do not plan on following this next year. The reason being I've only read one of these books, one of her suggestions this year. So I'm just not going to follow it anymore. Next up, I do a Year of Goober Reading Challenge, and so for that, I read Keeping the Score. For my Book Lovers Reading Challenge, I read Nora Roberts Land. Then for the Read Around the USA, I did Count Nora Roberts Land for Colorado, and for my Read the Alphabet Challenge, I did Keeping the Score for the letter K. Next up, you see my October stats. So I read 3 books, watched 2 movies, and watched 4 TV series. 2 of those books were audiobooks and 1 was an ebook. Then I read 120 chapters and 988 pages in total. This calendar here that I print off is an app called Book Mori. It is a really neat app for keeping statistics. You can time while you read, and so you can see how much time you spend every day, and then it keeps track of the days that you do read. So I do download the calendar every month and add it in here just so I have sort of a visual. And then these are my October favorites. So my favorite book, my favorite TV series, favorite movie. Then we get into my summaries of everything. So the first book was Keeping the Score by Brandy Pelleter. Again, I did this for the Year of Goober Challenge, which was their Marigold Warmth, which was to read in a cozy place. So I did read that book here at home, in my chair with my feet up and on a blanket and all that. So, which is typically how I read. So honestly, I could have used any book for that prompt. This is the book that I read in my Kindle. I started it December. I started it October 6th and finished it October 13th. And it was a standalone book, but I do think you should read it after, what was the book I read last month? Even though it is standalone, it is characters that were mentioned in between the lines from Brandy Pelleter. So I would suggest reading between the lines first, just so you get introduced to the characters from keeping the score. Next up, I read A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sandra Mendana. It is also a standalone. I listened to it in one day on Audible while I was at work. So I started it October 1st and finished it October 1st. And this was the Buju Buddies book club, or they're now the Goober book club. That was their October pick. So last year we read a book by this same author, and this book just reminded me a lot of that other book. It almost felt like she copied herself. It was very, very similar to it, which is why I only gave it 3 stars. I enjoyed it. It was a quick listen, but it still was very, very, very reminiscent of the book we read of hers last year. Then Nora Roberts Land by Ava Miles, I read for my book lovers challenge, which were characters interacting with real authors. This was one of their book suggestions, but they didn't really interact with Nora Roberts herself. The author did give permission to use her name. However, it was mostly about just finding a life like Nora Roberts writes in her books. And then we have television shows and movies. So Mom and I did finish The Big Bang Theory Season 5. We started it the 1st and finished it the 22nd of October. And then we watched it on like Hulu and Disney Plus. Then we watched The Black Cauldron. This movie was released a year before I was born, and I had never seen it. So it was on my list of Disney movies to try to watch this year. I only gave it 1 star. I really did not like it. I kind of felt that it was not really for children. It was a bit what I would have considered scary as a child. Then we watched Beetlejuice on the 12th. This did come out in September of 2024. I gave it 3 stars. It was exactly what I expected it to be. It was funny and stupid and, nostalgic. So exactly what I expected. Then I watched Expedition Unknown Season 1. I streamed this on Spectrum just while I was diamond painting. It was just something that was kind of nice to listen to for history and kind of some neat findings and things like that, just while I was doing something else. Then Mom and I watched Blue Bloods Season 1. Started it the 4th, and we did finish it last night, so the 30th of October. And then we also watched the 1st season of Mom, which we started the 6th of October and finished the 22nd. This show is hilarious. I highly recommend it. It's really funny. Then over here I have the thumbnails for all of my YouTube videos this month. I don't have space for my last 2 videos that posted today, and I'll probably post this one tomorrow, November 1st. But overall, I am really happy with how my YouTube channel is going. I post every 2 or 3 days, so I'm keeping up with it pretty well, and I'm very excited about that. Then I have my October wrap-up. So for this, I just take notes of everything that we've kind of done for the month, things that worked, things that didn't, just sort of memory keeping style. And then my last video that I posted, I did work on my November spread with you guys. I did just kind of like a hyperlapse type thing. So I've got my November challenges all set up. So my Bible recap, read daily, the Buju Buddies, and then here I did put Goober's Book Club. Reese's Book Club, she normally doesn't release until the 2nd or 3rd day of the month, so I don't have that one yet to write down. Then we have A Year of Goober, Book Lovers Reading Challenge, Read Around the USA, and Read the Alphabet. I've got a place for all my November stats and a place to put in my favorites at the end of the month. So I plan on reading All I Want Is You by Fallon Ballard, Tourist Season by Bryn Weaver, and then I'm going to start Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I have read these books, but I want to listen to them on Audible, so I'm starting the series on Audible. Then I decided to watch The Princess and the Frog. in November, the movie Elvis, Jumanji, The Next Level, and then I want to watch The Perfect Neighbor on Netflix. Other than that, I didn't plan out television shows. We kind of just do those how we do them, and then I'll add them to this. And I'm also not sure I left space for my thumbnails for YouTube in November, but we'll see. Next up, we have my November wrap-up page. So again, memory keeping, what worked, what didn't, that kind of information. And I typically will just fill this in throughout the month as things go on. And then I also had to do a continuation for the Bible recap, part 3. My part 2, I only made it to 315 days, so I had to come back in and do 316 to 365. This is really exciting. It's the most I've ever read in the Bible, and I'm almost through with it. Mom and I have been reading it every day this year, and the Bible recap has really helped us understand it in a new way, understand the Bible in a new way, and also keep with it by dividing it up daily. I think that's really helped. You just read 2 or 3 chapters a day. And then I also didn't make enough space for my movies and TV shows, so I added another page just to continue sort of my snapshot of the year. If we flip back to the beginning of the year, you can see I made 2 spreads for the books that I've read in the year, but I didn't give myself enough space for movies and TV shows. So I did have to go ahead and do that. And all right, so that's everything I've worked on in November. Or sorry, everything I've worked on in October. And then I did want to bring this back in. I got this in my most recent Pip Sticks unboxing. These are book recommendation postcards, and I'm really excited about this. And so if you guys would like to send me book recommendations, my email address is listed in the description below, and it's also in my About tab, my information. So what this is you send me your address, and then I will send this postcard to you, and you're going to give me a recommendation of the book title, the author. Then you put your name, recommended by, and where you're from. Then you will mail this to a friend of yours who will fill out the same information, mail it to another friend who will fill out the information, and then they will mail it on to one more person who will fill out the information and then mail it back to me. So my address is here. I just went ahead and kind of got these all pre-set up. I've got a address label on the back of all of them, and then I did write different genres on them for people to give me recommendations of. So again, I just wanted to kind of bring this back and re-mention it. I've got a couple addresses that have been emailed to me so far, but obviously I can do a lot more than 2. So go ahead and email me your addresses so I can start sending these out and getting some book recommendations for 2026. And then when I do get these back, I will show all of the book recommendations that I have received. So in essence, you guys will be getting the book recommendations too. So if you're a reader, definitely send me that. And all right, guys, I'm going to open my journal back up just so you have something to look at. But thank you for joining me today. Happy Halloween if you celebrate. And I'm looking forward to the last 2 months of the year. So I will see you guys in November. Bye.